Hi, my name is Viktor. I am an AI automation specialist. My main area of expertise is agency and workflow operations. Over the last year and a half, I've completed over 50 projects, and today I'm going to go over a sales and marketing pipeline that I created for one of the biggest content agencies operating right now, and how I basically structured the entire process of creating a campaign calendar and a marketing calendar and pipeline that allows us to automatically move the leads from one stage to the next, and also leverage automation throughout the process to make sure that we are able to tackle the different tasks that arise. So the agency pipeline is going to be illustrated over here. I'm going to have a few main stages that we are going to be exploring, starting with sourced, approved, day 1, day 2, day 5, day 10, responded, discovery, meeting booked, and deal 1. The platforms that we are going to be using here are going to be Pipedrive for the CRM, make.com for the automation layer and the platform that connects everything in one, and Asana for the actual project management layer, because that's what this particular client is working on. But all of these can be substituted to different platforms. You can use ClickUp here for the CRM. You can use ClickUp here for the project management. My preference would be to ideally combine these two into one, because it just makes it even more easier to configure, and it's a lot more unified. But regardless, here we're using two different platforms. We're also using Meg.com for connection. You can use N8N here, and probably over the next couple of months you'll be able to just use agents to do this process as well of syncing stuff between the platforms. But how it is going to look like is I'm going to mainly go over these 6 scenarios here that are going to be fulfilling a specific purpose for the actual pipeline. Everything starts whenever we have a lead that gets sourced by a team member or someone who has knowledge on the lead, someone who has access to the lead sourcing software, and so on and so forth. The lead is going to be sourced. Let's say that lead's name is Victor, so that's me. We're going to source the lead, put it over here. This is where they are going to be living until something basically makes them move to the next stage, which would mean that the lead has been reviewed and approved by someone on the team. Once that happens, and the lead moves into approved, we are going to trigger the first automation, which is going to be the scenario number 1. And what this one is going to do is it's basically going to be monitoring how many leads do we have in these two sections of the pipeline. And the goal here is we want to have over 20 here at all times. So let me make this a bit bigger. But yeah, we want to have over 20 here at all times, and we want to have over 10 here at all times. So if at any point the amount of leads here drops below 20 and the amount of leads here drops below 10, we're going to fire this, and we're going to assign tasks to a team member on our team who is going to have a task to source the leads, and also one of the founders has the task to actually review them and so actually approve them. Once the lead is approved, what's going to happen is we're going to fire the second automation, which is going to pick up all of the leads that are in this section but that don't have Asana projects assigned to them, and is going to use the API to create an Asana project, which is a template for the different types of free audits and free value that we're going to be providing the client, and is going to create that and link that to the Pipedrive. So after that, this specific lead is now also going to have the actual Asana link so that we can monitor it, and we can also click and very easily navigate between the two platforms if necessary. After that, what's going to happen is we are going to have tasks in that template that are going to be linked to actually creating the free value. We're going to be able to pick the type of free value, which in this case we have 2 types of free value that we are offering. We're going to have either a packaging audit or winning video ideas. This one basically is a free thumbnail that we do, and this one is a list of winning video ideas based on the specific creator that we're outreaching to that can be useful to them, since this is a content agency and they edit YouTube videos mostly. So then we're going to pick one of these 2 from the template, and we are going to have a list of approval tasks and tasks to actually create the actual audit. The way this works is in this dripping approval automation, which is going to be triggered by a webhook whenever a specific task is complete. Once that happens, we're going to read the task, and depending on the type of audit that we chose and the type of free value that we chose, we are going to be creating the follow-up tasks for the actual completion of that free value. So if it is a packaging audit, we are going to first get a thumbnail idea. Then we're going to review the thumbnail idea. We are going to then draft the thumbnail idea, and we're going to then approve the thumbnail and send it to the client. All of these steps are going to be linked to one another, and we will have to have approvals on all of them. So the way that the system works is, once we have a task here, the first task is going to get created. We are going to go in, do the task. Once it's marked complete, this scenario fires one more time, and it automatically creates an approval task that is linked to the first main task. Then the person who is assigned to that task, which is the owner in this case, is going to review the work. Once he approves it, once he approves the approval task, the main task also gets completed, and we create the next main task, and this logic repeats until the audit is complete and the deliverable is done. After that, the deliverable is going to get sent. And when that happens, the lead is going to be automatically moved into day one using this scenario over here. Then what we have basically is a period of 10 days where we're going to auto-advance the leads based on the amount of time that they have spent in each stage. Here, we don't have too many automations running in terms of actually reminding for follow-ups, but this is something that can be very easily expanded on. So we can create automatic follow-ups for the leads. But what we're going to do is we're going to monitor how much time a specific lead has spent in a specific stage, and we're going to then automatically move it to day 3. After that, move it to day 5, and finally to day 10. Which is going to be the final step of the follow-up cadence. In case that the lead responds, we are going to be moving them to the responded stage. And then we also have the final list of dripping tasks, which are going to be triggered inside of this automation here. What this one's going to do is basically it will create a pitch deck and a discovery deck. These are just specific steps that we have agreed on having here in part of the process of creation for the specific free value for this agency. If we are doing this for different agencies, this might be different. But to make it simple, we are just going to have responded and discovery meeting booked. So these two, the discovery deck pitch and the pitching deck, are going to be created whenever the discovery meeting is booked. And after that, once the meeting is done, the final step is going to be triggered, which is going to create the tasks to create an invoice and to also create the contract and send it to the deal, to the lead. And finally, hopefully, we're going to end up winning the deal, at which point we move on to onboarding, which is a completely different system on its own, but that is how it's basically going to function. So to go over one more time how and why this is valuable is we are able to track the entire process of a lead from being sourced to actually being won. We are able to also have each step of the way systemized and documented. We have specific approval automations that are going to enable us to drip the tasks as they become relevant. So we are not going to have 10 tasks assigned to our team at once, which might end up confusing them. The only time a person gets a task is when that task needs to be completed. And the due dates that we have here are also quite short. So usually we're not going to have due dates here created that are more than 2 days out. So if you get a task, you know that you need to act on it almost instantly to basically move it forward. And this ensures that we have compliance. This ensures that we have tasks completed as fast as we can. And also just make sure that the process is moving smoothly from one stage to the next. So this has been the overall breakdown of the full agency sales pipeline, and we're going to be expanding on this over the next couple of weeks or months, but it is a very interesting and exciting system. This can work for any type of agency, whether you are a content agency, maybe you have a retention marketing agency and you're creating emails, maybe you have a PPC agency, whatever it is. If you have many different deliverables and you require a lot of things to be done constantly, or if you have a very complex process of sourcing leads and moving them down the pipeline, or if that's not currently systemized in any capacity, then a system like this is going to be extremely valuable for you as well. So if you end up watching this video and you find it useful and you think this might be interesting to you or it might be relevant, I build these systems for a living now. So let me know. I have my website linked somewhere below. You can take a look. You can book a call. You can message me on LinkedIn or via email, and we can see how this can look for you if it is relevant, of course. So besides that, thank you for watching. Subscribe if you like the video, and I will see you very soon. Bye-bye.